All right. Welcome back to the TuaTalk podcast. I'm your host, Eli. I'm back. I've been gone a little longer than I thought. Just got overwhelmed with some things with school. Currently recovering from COVID, so if my voice sounds a little off, if the energy's a little off, I apologize. But there's been a lot that happened regarding the Dolphins that I want to talk about. There's been all the free agency. There's been the trades with our draft picks. It's been a crazy few weeks for the NFL and for the Dolphins as well. But starting off, I think we should just get by free agency pretty quick. The Dolphins took their time in free agency. They didn't do anything right off the bat, anything big at least, which had fans left wanting more for a while, and I was one of those fans. But as soon as the news about Will Fuller dropped, I mean, wow. All the fans who were upset, for the most part, they were pretty happy with this. The days of just waiting and being anxious, went away. Felt so much better seeing us actually get a wide receiver and one of the top wide receivers for Tua. And what I saw from a lot of the Dolphins fans were they didn't want Kenny Golladay because they thought he was the same as Devontae Parker or whatever. And regardless of him being like a similar type of wide receiver, people were comparing their skill sets and saying that Devontae's even better, which I just think's insane. I think it's just what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It's just a crazy take. It's idiotic, I think, to actually hold that belief. But hey, what are you gonna do? Everybody has different opinions and everything. So a lot of people were wanting Curtis Samuel or Will Fuller, and I'm really happy with Will Fuller, especially the contract being a 1-year deal, because he's had issues with injuries his whole career, except for last season, of course, when he was taking the PEDs. So if he ends up having the injuries that he's had and been plagued with through most of his career, similar to some receivers we're really close with, like Devontae Parker, similar to guys on our team, then it's just 1 year and done. It's like, okay, it didn't work out. See ya. We don't have that much money long term invested into him. And if it does work out, we can sign him to an extension. We can tag him if we're still a little wary about the injuries. So that signing was great. And we made a few other signings that I think were pretty good too. I just want to pull them up real quick. All right, so Jacoby Brissett is a backup quarterback. I really like that. Malcolm Brown for the short yardage situations. I don't hate it, especially at really minimal amount of money we're giving up for him. Justin Coleman, I love him. Think he's really underrated. Think he can get back to some better play that he's had in his career, being back with Flo. Adam Butler, I really like that one. And I really love re-signing Vince Beagle, signing Jason Sanders to the extension we got him to earlier on, and getting the linebacker from the Texans, with the trade before free agency as well. I think we really made some solid upgrades to the team, and we have more flexibility in the draft, which was shown by all the trades we did with our draft picks. Trading with the 49ers, and then once everybody's starting to digest that and be happy, you see, oh, now we've traded with the Eagles. We've traded back up to 6, which I found interesting. I've seen some people say that they'd be more happy if we would have just done the 49ers trade and stayed there. And I kind of share that opinion, because having 2 firsts next year and then 2 firsts in 2023 would have been great. I think that would have given us even more flexibility and set us up even better for the future, rather than trading back up to 6 and giving up our first next year to the Eagles. But I like the idea that we gave up our first, not the 49ers. Puts more pressure on our team, our players, on our organization to get the wins this season. Kind of bets on ourselves. So I like the idea of that. And moving back up to 6, they must have, had a guy up there at 3 where they really liked, a guy or two, and they just knew they could get more. They didn't have to take him at 3. We can move back up, and end up with plus assets. So it seems like that's what's happening, that there's a guy up there they have in their mind. And there's even the possibility that we could trade back down on draft night if a quarterback slips to us at 6 and, Carolina or Denver wants to move up, and then we can move back down, which I think that's the situation that would be best for us to happen. But yeah, even though I would have probably rathered stay at 12, I don't have their draft board. I don't know what the organization's thinking. the moves say that, they're showing that there is a guy that they really want to take, they believe in. So I support that. There's a guy you love. Make sure you're in the position where you can still take him at 6. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting. I just really didn't think these trades and these moves with the draft picks were going to come so far away from the draft. I thought maybe when we're on the clock or maybe a couple days, a couple weeks before the draft, but this came out of nowhere and brought a lot of excitement into the community, on Twitter, just all over the place when it happened. It was a pretty crazy day when that news dropped. And I really like that they traded down instead of sitting at 3 and taking Sewell or, taking Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase at 3. I think it's a much, much better decision getting more assets, trading down. And some people are kind of mixed about whether it says, all right, we believe in Tua, now we have more assets to surround him with, or it's showing they don't believe in Tua because they traded down and now they have more assets to, I guess, trade for another quarterback or be able to move up in the future. But overall, I think that's kind of silly. If they didn't believe in Tua right now, then they could just draft a quarterback at 3. And the whole idea about, oh, well, in the future, if this happens, that's a good thing that we have more flexibility now. You always want the organizations to have more flexibility. And I think it puts us in a better situation continuing to stock up on these assets. So thank you, Bill O'Brien, for all this. So that's pretty much my thoughts on those two things. At this point, I don't really have too much more to say about it all. I'm excited to see who we're going to draft now at 6 and 18 if we don't move from there. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure who I'd want at 6. I mean, we should be able to get the wide receivers. I know a lot of people want Kyle Pitts at 6. I'm not one of those people. I'd rather take Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase right there. I'd even rather have stayed at 12 and, crossed our fingers that Waddle was going to fall to us at 12, or if not him, get someone else at 12. So I don't really want Kyle Pitts at 6. I'd rather take a tackle at 6 if I'm being completely honest. It is a possibility, though, because everyone's looking at Pitts, calling him a generational tight end, generational offensive weapon, not even being a tight end, kind of like how we use Gesicki, where he's not really inline blocking, but we already have that in Gesicki, and I guess it depends what the organization thinks about re-signing Gesicki, because this is a contract year for him, so we could draft his replacement here, or even keep Gesicki and pair them up and give real matchup problems to the defense and have Devontae and Will Fuller, Preston, Jakeem, whoever else, playing wide receiver. So I just think with the injuries we've seen at wide receiver the past couple of years, we need to get a wide receiver with one of our early picks, whether it's 6, 18, second, whatever, just in the top 50 with our picks. I hope we at least get one wide receiver there, hopefully get a guy early. I would also be happy with taking a running back with one of those picks, preferably Najee Harris out of Alabama. I'm a huge fan of him. I think he's the best running back in the class. It would be pretty cool to get Devontae Smith or Waddle at 6 and then Harris at 18. But if we do that and that doesn't work out, then, everyone is going to be flaming the Dolphins and how they're trying to recreate Alabama and all that. But that's just so silly. That's so stupid. You get the good players. You try right now trying to build around Tua, trying to make him comfortable. We got to try and build a team around him that's going to fit his skill sets. And you saw at Alabama how he shined. So taking some of the pieces they had and surrounding him with players who fits that skill set, who fits that RPO offense, which arguably a lot of Dolphins fans are saying Jalen Waddle will better than Chase or Smith. So just get one of those top 3 receivers. 18 if Parsons falls there, that'd be amazing. I'd love that. If not, go grab Najee Harris. Just get players who make this team better. As simple as it sounds, that's what they need to do. It seems like they have a good plan for this team, so if they continue to carry it out, I think we'll be in a good place. And then just more regarding Tua, he's been posting a lot of clips of him working out. He's been posting, but there's been a lot of posts around with that. It looks like he's getting in really great shape for this season, which is exciting. You see, he's really focused, he's really determined, and talked about that before. I think that's one of the best things when you see a player who's determined, who really cares about football, who cares about their teammates, and that's definitely Tua. So I'm just really excited for him to prove the doubters wrong this upcoming season, see what we have in him, and see the Dolphins shine. So thanks for listening. This is TuaTalk, and I'll see you in the next one.